Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ink and Paint Club movie review show here on the Ink and Paint Club channel. My name is JD, and I'm sick, so I'm sorry if I sound weird. Oh yeah, and Kyle's here too.
I'm here.
Yay!
And I'm not sick.
Good. It's all that warm California air keeping you healthy.
Yep.
All that smog. It's good for the lungs.
Yep. All that heat stroke keeping me healthy.
Well, it's better than like the like 80 or the fucking bipolar weather we got around here. It was like 60 degrees the other day and it dropped to like 40 the next day.
That sounds amazing.
It's awful. Anyway, enough about my problems. So Kyle had an idea for a show. He wanted to talk about this Netflix show that I hadn't ever really heard about. So I watched it, and it was pretty cool. It's called Buddy Thunderstruck. And Kyle, why don't you tell the good people what this show is about?
Okay, well, I don't... Even though I have your account and I have my girlfriend's account, I don't really watch Netflix, so I don't really know what's on there.
What am I paying for that second account for, then?
Well, I mean... Anyways. So yeah, I heard a bunch of buzz on 4chan. They're like, hey, this is a really great show. Why isn't anybody talking about this? And everybody was like, well, I don't have Netflix. That was kind of like the main response. Well, anyways, I looked it up. I was like, wow, this looks pretty impressive. The dolls, whatever is being used, it looked really great. But what was a big turnoff was seeing that it had robot chicken. Like, it had the people from Robot Chicken working on it, and that kind of turned me off on it. Oh. But I gave it a chance and loved it. It is magical. It is a beautiful show, and I can't recommend it enough.
Well, what's the show about, Kyle?
Oh, it is about two best friends, Buddy and Darnell, and Buddy's like the town celebrity. He is a semi-truck racer, and yeah, he's kind of like the main winner. Everybody in town loves him. And it's just them being bros and hanging out and stuff. And he's got a rival that's a wild boar and all these crazy animal characters. It's a thing of beauty.
See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
It hurt so bad.
Internally, externally, spiritually.
Every level.
All right. So yeah, looking into this show, yeah, it is made partially by, well, it's made by the studio who makes Robot Chicken, so it's all stop motion. But it's also made partly by American Greetings, like that greeting card company, that also, I guess, made Care Bears, as we found out.
Well, what's weird about it too is I think it's like Care Bears, Mad Balls. There's a lot. American Greeting has a lot of like weird stuff like that. Oh, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool that like this was like one of their Netflix shows they wanted to do, because it's very out of, like, you wouldn't expect a company that made Care Bears to make this.
Yeah.
So when Kyle told me to watch this, I was kind of like confused for the first couple of episodes, because the writing of this show is kind of, the delivery is like more in tune of like how an adult show would deliver lines, at least I feel. But it's all clean though.
Yeah, it really does feel like kind of like Talladega Nights and those kinds of movies, the way they talk. Kind of a lot of the dialogue.
Yeah, it's like a lot of Southernisms and everyone talks really fast. What you said was like, what was your like analogy for what it was the other day?
Well, the creator said it. He said it was like Talladega Nights mixed with Dukes of Hazzard. That's
Yeah,
basically it.
I definitely got a Dukes of Hazzard vibe off of it.
It's mostly the sheriff.
Yeah.
Gives...
Yeah, it's the sheriff and the fact that they're always doing like stupid shit and just getting away with it.
Yeah.
But I will say that I really like the animation style of this, because I think another thing you would compare it to is Fantastic Mr. Fox from a while back.
It was all three of those mixed together.
Yeah, and I definitely get all of those vibes from this. But I mean, it's done by the same studio as Robot Chicken, so like they've got stop motion down to a science. I mean, it's not like a level of stop motion, but you know, it's still really good, and it's kind of there's some bits that I'm kind of impressed that they can pull off in stop motion.
It's fluid
cool
as hell though. Like,
oh yeah,
when they were doing the action movie flips and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's really impressive how fluid it is.
Yeah,
with Robot Chicken, they do a lot of like cut out mouths and stuff.
Right.
But I want to say it's a lot better animated than that.
Yeah, I think they put a lot more effort into. I mean, Robot Chicken, I think part of its aesthetic is to be like kind of poorly done. Not to say it's not, because like there's some Robot Chicken stuff that's like, damn, it was actually really well produced. But I think they put a lot of care in how this was animated.
Yeah.
Because there's even one bit, and I'm sure it's an easy trick to pull off, but there's one bit that like I was trying to figure out how they did in stop motion. It was the episode where they're trying to who did the hit and run, and they're in the party trailer. And they've got like a disco ball going around with like lights circling the room, but they've also got the characters animating at the same time. Just like that's gotta be confusing.
Gotta be After Effects or something.
Maybe. It's entirely possible.
I don't know if you ever read. Me and my brother used to read this magazine called Toy Fair, and it would show all the like upcoming toys. If there was gonna be movies, here's what the toys are gonna look like, that kind of stuff.
Huh.
But that's where Robot Chicken kind of originated from. They did like little comics.
Oh.
And then they kind of made a show out of it.
I did not know that. Huh.
But anyways, no, I love everything about this show, and it's weird to say that because I watch a lot of cartoons, a lot.
It's not an understatement.
Yeah, and you guys heard me review stuff before. I don't like a lot of things. And
Kyle's our local curmudgeon.
Yeah, a lot of the times I don't like main characters. I don't like how they're written, all this kind of stuff. But it's just wonderfully written. I love all the characters. They're all likable. I love their designs. They're, like Tex Jr. and Big Tex. Just the detail on them, on their models, just all covered in fur and stuff. I really like how they look. And even with like Nick the New Guy, where he's covered in like feathers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Everybody's design is so great in this show, and everybody is really funny. But I don't know. If I had to say who my favorite character was, it would probably be
the train.
Leroy.
The gas station guy.
Yeah, I like Leroy. I don't know if he's a blue jay or crow or.
I assumed he was a crow.
He's a crow, but he's like blue.
Maybe. Well, he's not a blue jay because he'd be like legit like bright blue.
Yeah,
he's like a bluish
Mordecai.
black, so that's why I assumed he was a crow or a raven or something.
I like him. He's always got the best bits.
Yeah. I don't know if yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite character per se, mostly because I binge watched a lot of this show today and yesterday, so a lot of the episodes kind of run together for me. But no, I agree with you. There's not a character I dislike. Everyone's got a funny bit. There's like so many like random gag characters that like end up being relevant a couple episodes down the line.
Yeah.
Like the first episode, they just like Buddy's thanking everyone after a race, and he just cuts to Handsome Joe, and he's like this like feral crazy man.
I think that's great because they're like, here's a joke character. Oh, he's got a tiny little arc to him.
Yeah, and then there's the sinister creepy man that's just like in like the background all the time, just spying on people, and then like halfway through the season, he starts talking for no real reason, and it turns out he becomes some asshole.
He becomes the main antagonist in a sense, but that's Moneybags.
Yeah.
And I do like how Jacko's just neutral. He's on whoever pays him side. And he's he's like the rabbit of the series.
From Cat Dog.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because like every time they cut to him, and it's like, we need a doctor. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a doctor. Or like sometimes he's a judge or something.
Yeah, I love
he's whatever the plot needs him to be at that time.
I do like just different character interactions too, how they work together, like Buddy and Tex Jr. being the rivals, and Cannonball, just everybody's interaction with each other. I really like that too.
Yeah, and I think they give time, like every few episodes they'll give time so like you get the interaction between like pretty much every combination of characters in the show, like, and you know the interactions seem really natural, so I like that. What would you say is your favorite episode, Kyle?
Favorite episode was probably the one where Junior thought he was dying.
Yeah,
because it's great. It shows that Buddy is kind of on the same level of Tex Jr., but not as hopeless as him.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a smart comparison in a sense.
Yeah, I thought that also was kind of funny, but it did seem kind of weirdly out of character. That like, is that the one where they go to or they're hanging out and like they go to the gas station, they get lost in there.
Yeah.
I just felt like he just devolved, like Buddy devolved in like this weird simpleton, like it seemed a little out of character, but I thought it was funny.
Oh, well, they're just showing that Darnell's pretty much the brains of them, and that's basically what he is. He's the smart one of the group.
I mean, they did that throughout they did that throughout the entire season. I mean, there's that episode where he thinks he has a future truck, and it's just Darnell in the hood of the car talking to him.
Yeah. I do like the repo one, too.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that's kind of where one of the episodes I thought was like, this seems a little more adult than it leads on to be, because it's like that whole bit where they're repossessing things, and Darnell like starts peeing in someone's bird fountain.
Yeah. I really feel like this was made for the hub when it was around.
Yeah, because I didn't make the connection until you told me earlier that it kind of feels like in the same vein as Dan Versus, where it's like written for kids, but it's also not written for kids.
Well, it's kind of like how Regular Show, when it first started, it was kind of like almost teenage, around that area. Because it wasn't for like kids, it was more for teenagers. They were saying stuff like pissed off and things like that. And
then they got an angry letter, I assume.
Yeah.
Because they stopped saying piss.
But Dan Versus was like that. It was kind of adult, kind of not. There was a lot of jokes where you're like, shit, how did they get away with that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And I bring up the hub because I remember the show does have some connection to the Care Bears, and I kind of feel like, because they brought back the Care Bears for the hub.
Oh.
And I remember they were really trying to get the My Little Pony audience in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk any shit because I feel it was more of a marketing thing.
Oh yeah.
if anything. But I think they're trying to call them like belly bros or something like that.
Oh,
And they were trying to get that to catch on like the bronies.
Oh boy.
And you can't catch lightning in a bottle.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah. I mean, there's even a part in this show where like on the TV they actually have an episode of Care Bears just playing in the background.
Yeah. I thought that was a
you had like told
was a delicious little nod.
Yeah, you had told me like because I hadn't gotten too far, but you were like telling me about some stuff about the show, and I'm like, fuck, I haven't seen the Care Bears cameo yet, and then there it was.
Yeah, it wasn't a later one. I definitely think it was the one where they thought they were sick, but they were allergic.
Yeah, I think. I had a hard time like thinking if I had a favorite episode, but I think the one I liked the most was the one where Buddy and the sheriff switched places.
Yeah,
because I thought it was funny, like just like how indignant Buddy becomes after he realizes he's been a cop.
Everybody was getting arrested for like the dumbest shit.
What was the one law he was keeping? Because like at the end he like rescinds all of his laws except for one. Oh yeah, everyone has to wear deodorant.
Yeah, he pissed off Auntie Uncle.
Auntie Uncle. He's a fucking yeah.
Oh, that's one thing I want to talk about is that one thing I really have to commend the series for is that there's not really known voice actors in this show except one.
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed that too, because, I mean, I've probably said it on the show before, but I've definitely told you before that, like, I'm kind of getting tired of, like, the same 10 voice actors that voice everything.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's not that I think they do a bad job, like, you know, Tara Strong and Tom Kenny and all those guys. It's not that I think they do a bad job, it's just that I'm so used to their voice that I can't disassociate the character with them anymore. So whenever I hear that, I just hear them. I don't hear a character. But yeah, the only I guess you didn't realize this, but the only voice actor that I did recognize was Debbie Derryberry, who voiced Jimmy Neutron back in the day, Buddy's sister and a couple of or his cousin, I guess, and a couple other characters are voiced by her, and I just keep hearing Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, see, like, I never watched that show too much, so it didn't click with me, but now that you say it, I definitely hear it now.
Oh, I mean, I definitely hear it with his cousin. Like, it's like not even a different voice, it's just that.
That was one thing I was hoping for, too, because it was, like, kind of the stupid Speed Racer thing. Because a lot of people make fun of it. It's the whole, Racer X thing.
Oh.
Where they're like, who is this character? And it's obviously that. Because they played it up in the second episode, and then it never came back.
Okay,
until, the very last race, she was in it, too. But it's weird, because every race, you only really see Junior and Buddy. You never really see much of the other racers.
And I want to call bullshit on these races, because like half the time they're already started and Buddy just jumps in the middle of it and wins.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're at least 10 laps behind.
I love it, though. It's great.
That's, okay, that kind of leads into one thing I did want to say. And it's something that kind of bugs me about the show, but I get that's the point of the show. Is that, like, Buddy will do a lot of, like, really kind of shitty things, but gets, like, zero comeuppance for it.
No, that's just his character.
I know, but it was weird because it was 2 episodes that were paired together that kind of highlighted that for me. It was the one, what was it? It's the one where they learn Kung Fu. What was the other one with that? What was the other one with that? And the one where they have where he's painting counterfeit art or counterfeit money, passing off his art or something. But like Okay, so for the art one, he basically his cousin is having an art show or something, and he just comes along and says our art is shitty, and then says, hey, I'm gonna make better art and sell it just to be an asshole. And then, like, I guess to make it right, he destroys every piece of art in town so that his cousin's is the only art by default. But there's like zero like ramifications for that. And then in the one where they're trying to learn kung fu, they go to this guy's dojo thinking they're gonna learn kung fu, but he teaches karate, and they're just like shitty to him for no reason. And then he ends up apologizing to them.
I just love how stupid they are to him, though. Where they're like, I saw a guy do splits, and he knew everything about kung fu.
Like, I don't mind that they're dumb and they do dumb things. I would just wish, like, periodically, like, there'd be some kind of ramification for it. Like, sometimes there is, but, like, those two instances, like, he does something shitty and just gets away with it.
Like, did you see the one with they destroyed the beaver's house?
Oh,
for
yeah.
firewood?
Yeah.
That was kind of like, I don't know, they ended up rebuilding the house, too.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's one thing when they do something shitty to the sheriff and stuff, because, like, that's funny, but when they're doing it to, like, random townsfolk, I don't know. It bugs me a little bit.
Oh, well.
Because they didn't do nothing.
It's a silly show.
No, I got it. I still think it's funny. I like where they had to fight the Girl Scout, and she's like, you just kick everybody's ass, and she's like this weird Children of the Corn thing.
Yeah. Now that you bring that episode up, I did like the stupid joke where they're like giving away black belts, and they're like, now in rainbow color. It's just a rainbow belt.
It just means nothing.
Yeah. And Artichoke had a Buster sword.
He did have a Buster sword. Oh, Jesus. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I still need... What?
It's a great series, but it's like how we brought it up a couple times is Netflix is a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it's really great to get the entire series and you can watch it, whatever. But then after it's over, you're like, well, where's the new stuff?
Yeah, and I mean, some shows are good about, you know, keeping it consistent. Like, I mean, I just saw something today saying that, you know, the next season of Voltron's going to be out sometime later this year. So, like, they've been getting a new season out, like, every 6 months. But then there's shows like Orange is the New Black, or I guess the Marvel shows, they come out pretty much every 6 months. But there's a lot of Netflix shows that'll, like, wait a year between seasons, and
that's a pretty good turnaround, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did a whole episode on how we felt about streaming and stuff. That was a while back.
What was it for? What was it? It was for Voltron, wasn't it?
It was for Voltron, and then we devolved into talking about what we feel about streaming and stuff. I mean, I still maintain that I like the format because I like not having to wait between episodes, because it's like, okay, I can watch all these episodes and that's fine, and then I can go do something else. Because part of the problem I have with watching a lot of the shows that I watch, because I watch a lot of the DC CW shows, and I'm like way behind on them because I gotta watch one episode per week, and you know my schedule gets busy, so I have to wait. I'm just gonna wait till the end of the season now to just watch what happened. But I guess it's also kind of, on the other hand, like, I was watching all of this show, and I feel like a lot of episodes kind of ran together because I just kind of had it on in the background while I was doing stuff today. And I remember, like, things that happened, but I don't remember the order in which they happened.
Oh,
if that makes any sense.
That's on you, buddy.
I mean, yeah, that is a problem I have. I mean, I have that problem with a lot of TV shows. Like, TV shows run together for me. But no, I like this. I did like this show. I probably wouldn't have had checked it out unless you had told me to. I mean, I like the stop motion animation. I mean, anyone who can chug that out with any kind of consistency, especially that well, I can give kudos to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
and yeah,
we'll go on.
You go on.
No, go on.
You do it.
No, I didn't really have much. Finish your thought.
The thought is gone. Yeah, but I don't know. All the characters are really good. The animation's really good. It has a good sense of humor. It's not like talking down to children, but it's not like inappropriate for children, except that they say fart nugget a lot.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because like at first I just thought it was something that like Buddy and Darnell said them, but then like literally everybody else in town says fart nugget.
Well, Sheriff Cannonball says that a lot too.
Yeah, like literally everybody says fart nugget. It's just like the town colloquialism.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I thought it was funny. Oh, I did have a favorite part. I told you about this because it's like such a random thing to reference for a kid's show, but like, what was it for? Like they had the boombox and it was playing smooth jazz, but they both hate smooth jazz.
Oh, I think Junior calmed him down, but Buddy.
Oh, was that
aggressive.
it was the aggressive episode. They get this boombox that's supposed to like play smooth jazz to break up a fight, but it just pisses them off. Well, so they cut to like a live action segment. And it's like parodying that scene from Office Space where they beat up a printer, and it's just these live actors beating up a boombox.
Yeah.
But then it like cuts to Moneybags, but he's still a stop motion character in the background, where these like live action characters are still there.
I thought that was kind of a neat effect.
I mean, yeah, I was really impressed how they integrated that. I thought it was hilarious, and I did think it was funny that they didn't show you the faces of the actors.
Yeah, but you see like the bottom of their faces and stuff, and they really do have like pig nose. Or the fangs and stuff. But yeah, you don't see their whole face.
Yeah, that's what I thought was kind of weird because like they obviously have masks on and stuff, but like they decided not to show like the whole thing, which is fine. It's still a really funny joke. But it's like, what kid is going to understand this Office Space joke?
I gotta say, my two favorite jokes for this show, both deal with Leroy.
Oh.
But is the episode where they thought they were gonna die, and Tex Jr. he wanted to win a fight. He's never won a fight before, and they pay Leroy to throw a fight for him, and he's just like, "Hey Leroy, what's up?" And he's like, "Them's fighting words," and he just like socks him, and it just happens so fast, and he knocks him out. It's the funniest shit to me. And then the other thing was that episode that you're just talking about with the aggressive, where they're doing a burping contest or something.
Yeah.
And Buddy shows he can like break glass with a burp, and then Junior dials on his cell phone. Leroy picks up, he starts burping, and Leroy's like, "Oh no," and he just jumps out of his place and the whole building explodes. And that was just hilarious to me too, but his truck stop keeps exploding for the randomest reasons. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, back in the episode where they thought they were dying, I mean, they just blew it up and they gave him $10 to do it.
Yeah.
He just sometimes say that the entire episode is like, easiest $10 I ever made. Is like, you $10 to blow up your business? Okay.
Yeah, it's just dumb jokes like that where it's obviously more expensive than $10 to rebuild it.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like a lot of the joke delivery and a lot of the dialogue kind of feels a little Robot Chicken-y in the sense that like a lot of it is really sporadic and like like they'll just throw a joke at you really quick and it'll just go by really fast.
But there's a lot of shows where they do the same thing and it's mostly miss. This one was a lot of hits for
Oh
me.
yeah. The more I watched it, the more I got like a bunch of good laughs out of it. So I'll definitely give it a thumbs up for that.
That's why I was worried, because I don't really find Robot Chicken all that funny. They're just like, here's something innocent, but it's mature. There's a lot of blood now and cursing, and I don't find that funny. That's like old school Newgrounds to me. Like, here's Mario, and Mario's cursing, and now Mario's head's cut off and bleeding, and to me that's just not funny.
Yeah, you know.
Where's the lie?
I'm not going to disagree with you.
But yeah.
Robot Chicken's kind of like hit and miss for me. I haven't watched it in forever, but I can go back and watch older episodes, and you know, it really depends on what they're making a joke about. But no, I mean, in this day and age where basically every show is like just throw a joke at you every few seconds and just keep going no matter what. It's nice to see a show that is trying for that and succeeding for the most part.
That's why it feels more. The show feels more sincere than I don't know, something else.
Oh no,
That's what I like about it.
Oh yeah, I can definitely tell that like a lot of care went into making this, not just like as an animation style, but like just the writing style, and developing all the characters. Like obviously the guy that made this really cares about it, and I think that really comes through, and I can appreciate that.
The guy would be Ryan Wiesbrock.
I'm gonna assume that
Ryan Wiesbrock.
Yeah. I looked at like he doesn't have a Wikipedia, so I look him up on IMDb, and he's worked on a few things. He worked on some Care Bear stuff a while back.
Well, if he's listening, I gotta say I really love your art style. Like your hand drawn stuff is incredible.
Yeah, dude, you like showed me his Instagram before we started recording. I was looking through his little sketches and like those are cool. I like those. I like the one where he just drew money bags on the back of a newspaper.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man, when inspiration strikes, I guess.
I love it. Well, anyways.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show. Please give it a chance. Watch it. It's on Netflix, unless they took it off, because I don't know why they would, but...
I mean, I was watching it earlier this afternoon, so unless they did it recently, but nah, it'll be up there for a long time. But yeah, guys, check this out. I mean, I wouldn't have checked it out unless Kyle told me to, and I'm kind of glad that he did, because, I don't know, it is kind of it's a cute show, it's funny, it's really well done, so definitely check that out on the Netflix.
Yeah. And if you don't have Netflix...
Find a friend who does. Like your friend who has a Netflix account.
Yeah, that.
Like how I give you my Netflix account.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more people watching good shows, the better. Just watch it through legal means.
There you go.
There you go. Don't be a dick.
I'm sorry for being a dick.
Yeah, it's okay. You watch this through legal means, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, and I gave it a 5-star review because it's incredible.
Yeah, dude, that was weird. I don't know how Netflix, does their star system or whatever, but it was at like 2 stars when I booted it up this morning. Like that didn't seem right.
Yeah, I saw that, and that really upset me because it doesn't deserve that.
I heard once that the star rating isn't like an aggregate of actually what Netflix users have been rating it. It's like kind of a guesstimation of what you yourself would rate it. That's based on like what you've rated before or something. I don't know. But no, everybody go watch this show if you've got a Netflix account, or find someone who has Netflix and watch it, because it's a good show. And it would be cool if they made more of it.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see a season 2 and see how the whole series wraps up, or not really wraps up, but continues, because the last episode kind of leaves it open for something.
Well, there you go. Room for growth. It's always a good thing.
Well, that's it for this week.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. I know this is probably kind of a random review, kind of like what last week's was, but I don't know. I think it was good. People need to be made aware, all 100 or so odd of our subscribers. But yeah, come back next week for more animation discussory.
That's a good word.
I'm gonna start using it now. But yeah, so remember to do all that subscribey stuff. I'm rambling because I can't breathe out my nose. So, alright guys, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
See ya.